Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Scorpio is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free, does not cost anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. We start with the Justice card, also called Adjustment. This is a card really of understanding the consequences of our actions, right? This is a card of higher discernment. This is a card of being able to sort of judge things, evaluate things in real time. Okay? This is a sense of fairness. I think you're somebody who is trying to make the right decisions. Well, it's kind of like we're wondering, what does that mean? Right? And the right decisions are not always going to be the easiest ones. They're not always going to be the ones that give you, garner you the most favor with other people, right? Sometimes it is, sometimes it's a decision that might put you at odds with people, but it's the right thing to do. Okay, let's put this card into a little bit of context. We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. You got the 2. There's that 2. You're making practical choices. Okay. We have a 3 of Cups, 9 of Wands. It definitely is a strength, requires strength, right, to make those kinds of decisions. We have a 2 of Wands here, and we have a Knight of Cups in the future position. I feel that the choices that you're making are putting you in a closer harmony with your true path, okay? Closer with what your heart desires here, closer with the happy future that you envision for yourself. Now, Path of the Serpent, what do we have? We've got the Fool. We've got the Art or Temperance card. You've got a, yeah, that makes sense, Queen of Wands in that position. And finally, a Prince of Pentacles. Okay, so, a good amount of court cards here. I think that the Libra energy with this Adjustment card or the Justice card is really about karma. And we understand that every thought, word, and deed right now in the present moment is creating in this case, the emotional future that we can see. Okay, we understand that everything we decide, every choice we make right now, every behavior, every moment, right, every choice is creating that emotional future. Are we going to be happy and fulfilled? Or are we going to be depressed and lonely and cold and all this stuff? Right. So I think this is a very pivotal time in your life. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with big red ant right on top. Now, Spirit's saying there's some sort of a legal matter, some sort of a, I don't know if it's some kind of arbitration or mediation, but there's some kind of like it's not like criminal law. It's like business, or there's some kind of a contract dispute, or there's some sort of a negotiation about terms and conditions and payments or something like this. Like there's something that's going to, some sort of legal type thing that's going to end in your favor. Okay, that's going to lead to positive changes in your life. And I think that's a very strong message coming through. The mystery card, if you have an idea what that is, please put your prediction down in the comments. We're going to do it together. Yeah. So, major arcana. Of course, we have our Justice card. We've got our Fool, and we've got our Temperance card. I feel that this is a high-stakes situation for you. It could be that you have options to weigh. It could be that something in your life right now is, well, we'll just use this one. Is something in your life right now is sort of in the balance, that there's a lot of there's a lot of change that's going to be happening, and whatever the outcome of this particular decision, maybe if it's your choice, if we're waiting to, I don't know, if we're waiting to hear the news for something, or like you've applied for something and you're waiting for approval, it kind of feels like that in a way. Maybe you've applied for something and we're waiting to get the okay, we're waiting to get the approval or the go ahead. Maybe you've applied for a job, you're waiting for it, or a loan, and maybe you've filed a lawsuit, or you've done sort of legal maneuvering, and now we're waiting for that outcome. Whatever it is, it's going to change your life. Okay, and so I think you're recognizing that the outcome of this particular moment, this particular thing, this thing that hangs in the balance. And I think that there's part of you that realizes it can go either way. Okay, I think Spirit's saying it's going to go in your favor. It's going to change your life. It's going to affect your emotional future. I don't know if this is some kind of I guess it could be a divorce, something like this. It could be a dissolution of a contract, or the ending of some kind. It could be getting out of a lease, or something like this too. All right. I don't know if it's necessarily a separation or a union, but I do know that the current state of things are basically changing to the opposite. So if you're currently in a partnership, this is the ending of the partnership. If you're not in the partnership, this is going to be saying that you're applying for something and those things are going to come together. Okay, so it really is kind of going with this Two of Pentacles, going black to white, white to black, whatever. It's flipping to whatever it is not currently. All right. You have the Fool, which I think is sort of your general energy now, because it seems as if you've done everything you could. All you really have left to do is just kind of like, it's like you're just wiping your hands and you're just saying it's in God's hands now. There's nothing more for the Fool to do. So the Fool is kind of representing that energy when we've put in as much work as we can. We've done everything to the best of our ability, and now it's just, gotta just wait and see. Right? Now the Fool kind of has a freedom, because it's like, okay, there's a relief here, is what I'm sensing, yeah? There's a relief because you did every single thing you could, and now it's out of your hands. And so there's a little bit of relief there. There's still anticipation, and we still feel all that kind of stuff, but there's a breath of fresh air going on, all right? And of course, we have our Temperance card, which is the kind of a pressure cooker situation. It feels like it's high stakes. It feels like this was almost a bit of a gamble, Let's see. We've got fire, fire, fire. We've got water here. We've got no more air, and we've got our earth and our earth cards here. Now the air we have is all wrapped up into this. I think you've already done the negotiation. You've already exchanged the words. You've already written the proposal. You've already applied for the thing. You've already filed the paperwork or whatever it is. All the intellectual stuff is done. All the articulation is done. And now the Fool can go back to just like, it's like the mental stress is being relieved here. Going from this card, it's like it's like this, you're going from being a lawyer to just being, whatever. I don't want to. I was going to say to be just being the idiot, right? Because I feel like it's a lot of involvement, and I think that it was something that you're not like a lawyer, by trade. So I feel like you really had to apply yourself to something wholly unknown to you. You had to be that lawyer. You had to be that advocate. You had to figure all that technical stuff out. And now that it's gone, it's like I'm just going to forget it all. Going back to this very simple kind of state where it's like I'm done with all that mental stress. So to me, it feels like this is a relief. Now, I'm not trying to call you an idiot or anything. It's the demonstration of how this energy changes. Okay? Because this is really, really focused. Like I feel like you had to very quickly become an expert at something you didn't know anything about. And now that you've done all that work, now it's just kind of like you can let it go, and we can have a little bit of mental repose, a little bit of a reprieve from that. Okay? That's what I'm sensing here anyway. So there's no swords cards otherwise, because I think all the negotiation, all the talking is done. I feel like this is just kind of like there's nothing left to say. We just got to wait and see how it plays out. I think you've put in every single thing that you could, and now there's just this full kind of freedom energy about things, yeah? The Two of Pentacles, of course, is change, and usually this card is talking about harmonious change in your favor, okay? So I think things are changing for the good. If we saw maybe a Five of Pentacles or a Five of Cups or any of the fives, really, I would say it may not go your way. But the Two of Pentacles is saying, yeah, things are going to be decided in your favor. The change that's going to take place is going to be an improvement for you in whichever situation this is, okay? So I think you've had the fight of your life, and now we're just waiting to see what the final outcome is, right? We're going to the judges' scorecards here, and we're going to have a winner pretty soon. But this is Spirit's way of saying the change that's happening is going to be beneficial to you, okay? Down beneath the surface, we've got the Three of Cups. I don't know if this is a family thing, maybe it's a divorce, maybe it's some kind of a arbitration, or maybe it was a fight over property or inheritance or something like this. Maybe it's a business thing, maybe it was family and there's money involved or something like that. Because the Three of Cups to me is always a kind of an underlying intimacy with the people involved, okay? It's kind of like you're one half of the family and there's the other half, and together we get that Six of Cups, you know? So this is like one side of that. But I feel that you're someone who you do not want to do that. Like, to you, you're like the last thing you would ever do is to, like, you know, file the lawsuit or like file the paperwork or like do that official kind of thing with the adjustment card, you know? That's really, it's not in your character. You're somebody that has compassion. You're somebody you love. You want things to work out. You want to make it. You want to make things okay. Like whatever it takes, you want to keep things together, and you want the love there. And so if you had to resort to this, it's kind of, this must have been a very serious thing, and this must have been not an easy decision for you to come to. Let's say if you had to like file paperwork or something, right? It's kind of like you've tried every other option first. You know, you tried to sort of do it in the kind way. You try to do it with love and compassion. It didn't work. Okay, well, now I'm going to have to just, you know, file the paperwork or go to HR or whatever the case might be. Maybe that Libra energy, the adjustment card, this could be HR, this could be the legal system, this could be hiring an attorney. I try to just do it with love, but now we just got to, you know, now I got to hire a professional, that sort of energy, okay? Or this is, you know, going to HR and making kind of an official issue of something, yeah. And of course, the Two of Wands up at the top, this was the energy that you were in. This is what you were fighting. This is your fighting energy, basically. And this is still really, really fresh. It's at the top of the path here, because I think you're still kind of in that fight mode. You're still in that very assertive sort of, it's like the adrenaline is still in there, and the adrenaline's kind of wearing off. And the Fool, of course, is like that baseline, you know, where we get to let all that stuff go. The adrenaline wears off, and we're just kind of, we're neutral again, and we feel better here. But I think we're still like waiting for that cascade of adrenaline to sort of, you know, to wear off, and so we can slow our breathing down and calm down and relax a little bit. Because I feel like you're generally a very easygoing person. I don't feel like you want to fight. I don't feel like you want to have an issue with anybody. You don't want to have any friction or conflict, right? You would rather be Three of Cups than Two of Wands. But guess what? Things are reversed right now. That we now see, instead of you're saying, well, you got this fight, you're trying not to fight, right? We're trying to push this down, and we just want to be all love and abundance and happiness, and we're all getting along fine. But no, your reading came out like that, okay? We're pushing down our nice temperament and our get along, be kind to everybody, turn the other cheek attitude, and we're saying, no, this is something that I cannot put up with. I can't tolerate this anymore. I've tried every other thing at my disposal, and now I have to do this sort of full measure. I got to file the report, or I've got to call the attorney, and I've got to, whatever it is, okay? Spirit's asking, who was the last person that gave you flowers? why are flowers significant? Why is somebody giving you flowers an issue for you? Or is that part of the Two of Wands? Is that something that maybe the last person that or didn't give you flowers, right? But I don't know why that's significant for you. In the background position, we've got our Nine of Wands. That is strength, right? That is a connection with a sense of purpose. That is a resilience. That is really an energy that says, I can endure anything. Whatever it is, I can handle it. And I think for a long time, you've basically been enduring, right? And I think because you've sort of been defaulting to the Three of Cups and thinking, you know what, there's love here, that we're family or we're friends, or, I'm a peaceful person, kind of a pacifist maybe, and I'm just going to silently suffer. A quiet endurance of that, of the suffering, So I think that you are a very strong person in that way because it's sort of it's a quiet despair. Yeah. And I think it really does, and we've talked about things like this before, like you see people that have been married for like 100 years, right? And you think, wow, they must really love each other, and it must really be like, that's amazing. That's so wonderful to see. It makes me feel good to see that. But we wonder, is that because they really truly are soulmates and there's that commitment there? Or is it because they've just, has one or the other of those people just been enduring that? Because while there is strength in keeping that together, there's also strength in finally saying, enough is enough, I'm done, right? So this is a commitment. This is a long term. This is like we took a vow, we took an oath. And, I'm not going to go against that. And there's strength there. There's strength to endure something even when it becomes very difficult to do so. When you keep showing up for something, no matter how difficult it is, that says something about your character, right? And because you have this energy there for you now to say, you know what, I'm changing this. I'm no longer going to just put up with this and endure. That tells me that this must have reached a critical mass where you just cannot endure it any longer. So all this strength, all this commitment, if you're going to go against this, right, as we see with the Two and the Two, if you're going to set in motion a big change like this in your life, there's a good reason for it. Because you're not somebody that breaks promises. You're not somebody that will go back on their word. If you commit to something, you're in it for life, So for you now to say, you know what, Two, fire and earth, I'm initiating a major change. This is like 90-degree turn, or even like a 180, right? If you're initiating this, there must be a very, very good reason for it. Okay. And that reason is what we see in the future position with our Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a cardinal water energy. There may be a Sagittarius person close to you. Okay, we got double Sagittarius cards here. If it's either a Sagittarius person very close to you, or I would watch the Sagittarius reading in this cycle. Okay, watch the last one that we did and watch the one that's going to be coming up in a day or so. The Nine of Cups is a vision of the future. All of the knights are peering into the future, trying to have that vision of the future. So you're looking at your Ten of Cups. You're thinking, what is the life what is the emotional destination on this path? If things stay the way they're going, if things do not work out in my favor, if I do not get or make the right decision here, what are the consequences of sticking with something? If things stay the same, what is the emotional result of that? What are the consequences here for me emotionally? Am I going to be living my best life? Am I going to be happy and satisfied? Am I going to feel good? Am I going to feel fulfilled and loved and cherished and supported and cared for? Am I going to be doing what I meant to be doing with my life? Or am I going to be depressed and scared and alone and miserable, and dissatisfied and disappointed with my life? So that question is what is helping you to initiate this change. Make this big decision in your life. Okay? Because the Knight of Cups wants to see that Ten of Cups. What does your happy life, what does your dream come true life look like? What is that happy life? What does fulfillment and success and bliss, like what does it actually look like? Because if you want it, first thing you got to do is you got to see it. You got to be able to envision it, fantasize about it if you have to. But you have to see it in your mind's eye. And then you have to aim toward it. And aiming toward it is basically the way the adjustment card is making these either big decisions and also the day-to-day, moment-to-moment micro decisions to keep our ship, right, pointed, keep the compass pointed at that best life, at that 10 of Cups life that we want. We have to be able to see it, and we have to be always making little course corrections, little maneuvers to keep ourselves pointed at that goal. It's all about aiming, right? All about aiming. And I feel like that's what's going on with you right now. Through whatever this semi-legal thing is for you. Okay. Now, I don't know why, there's something special about your water bottle. Or you have I don't know if you bought a water bottle but you haven't opened it yet, or there's something tied around your water bottle, or it's like decorated with something. Because I see like a thermos kind of thing, but it has some stuff coming off of it, or it's stuff like stickers on it or something. Anyway, Path of the Serpent, let's talk about this. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything. Your general energy, like I said, is the Fool. One, because moving in this new direction is freeing you from whatever this connection, whatever this tie was, whatever this was that you've been enduring for so long. There's a freedom. There's a release and a relief from that. Okay? And the Fool really is like this energy that's I'm ready for what comes next. You know, this is kind of like when once the divorce is finalized, it's like, all right, now life is starting over again. So I feel like you're in this energy where you're ready to start over, you're ready to reinvent yourself, you're ready to transcend, you're ready to move on and move forward. You're ready to really cut anchor. You're ready to cut anchor. Is that what's on the water bottle, the anchor symbol? This is kind of like we're free from the confines of the past, and we feel as if our life is beginning, like we're reborn. It's this free energy now. We feel light as a feather, right? And light as a feather is good, but we have to remember too that we don't want to just be a feather in the wind, right? Because there's no direction there. There's no sense of navigation. And like I said on the path of the dove, we've got to see the life we want, and we've got to be able to steer our ship toward it. So with this Fool energy, don't let it become too directionless, aimless, right? The Fool is rather aimless, and we need aim right now, okay? The aim is a reference, of course, to the Sagittarius energy, the idea of the arrow. You've got to see the target, and you've got to aim at the target, and then we've got to let the arrows go. The Art or Temperance card is also the idea of the pressure cooker. The situation that you've been in, you're not considering it to be a loss. I think there is a lot that you have gained through this experience. I don't know that this is like... I don't know that this is something that... I feel like this is a moving away from something, because again, with that Fool, I feel like there's a freedom that we're experiencing. Maybe it's a financial freedom, but maybe it's a freedom from that anchor or something that was holding you back. But either way, you're somebody that likes a challenge. You're somebody that needs to be that needs something to work toward. You need life to be bringing out the best of you, you know. So the pressure cooker kind of energy, I think, is you understanding that the situation like the one that you've been in has created your strength, right? So it's kind of, again, this is another Sagittarius energy too, by the way. This is the strength that we feel, and this strength is forged inside that pressure cooker, inside that furnace, that foundry, that blacksmith kind of shop. That's how we become as strong as we are. And so I don't know if you've been sort of preparing for something, or if you kind of are looking at this situation like it's helped you to become the person that you are. And so now you feel strong enough and you feel that you just cannot endure it any longer. You're ready to make this big shift, this big transition in life. Yeah. The card that you don't want is, of course, more Sagittarius energy. It could be really related to either an older female, or it could be a Sagittarius person in your life that you really are kind of, you're done with that. As much as that experience has helped to forge your willpower and your inner strength and your resilience, you're saying now I'm kind of done with that energy. The Queen of Wands is also a card that says that there's some anger and frustration here, and this card is sort of in your obstacle. The obstacle is really, I think, you getting. See, it's like when we get that rush of adrenaline and we're in that fight or flight kind of mode, we start, if we hang on to that feeling, then we're going to be just walking around like looking for a fight, We got our hammer, everything's a nail, right? So the difficult thing is for us to sort of calm that thing down. It's like you put a couple of people in the ring, a couple of boxers or whatever, or like MMA people, right? And they're fighting and they're in that fight energy. And then when they get out of the ring, it doesn't just turn off like that. They sort of have to come down. They sort of got to relax, and they got to get back to their baseline kind of personality, So the difficult thing for you is to sort of get out of the rush and the momentum and the adrenaline of this situation, and to sort of return to that, the kind of baseline, and return to that that calm sort of demeanor, because you're not somebody that wants to just walk around angry. You're not out here looking for a fight all over the place, right? So if you're fighting, this is a very specific situation for you. It doesn't happen often. And I mean fighting, energetically, of course, But then once that is over, the Fool, all that adrenaline, all that fight or flight stuff, sort of, it cascades down, and the Fool is that baseline energy, right? So the difficult thing is to just kind of let ourselves calm down after we have this kind of a rush, an encounter, or whatever this might be. Okay. And this really could be some of that adrenaline that we feel right when we're like waiting for the decision. We're waiting for the verdict to come in. We're waiting for the outcome. Okay. But the card we see next, very good energy. The Prince of Pentacles, the Builder. This is the one that shows up every day and just getting back to work. Maybe this could be a business thing for you, could be a work thing, could have something to do with your employer. And you're not doing it because you're lazy. You're not doing it because you don't want to work. We see that you already have the strength to endure the adverse conditions, whatever they were. You pushed through this for a long time. So you don't shy away from hard work. But you want to make sure that your work is leading to the future that you want, right? And so the Builder here is perfectly fine doing the hard work, showing up every day, putting in the overtime, giving it 110%, knowing that what we're creating is our happy and fulfilled life, right? That we're not just here enduring something that isn't satisfying, that isn't beneficial, that isn't healthy for us anymore. Okay, so this is you kind of getting back to work, And maybe this is a work thing. Maybe this has something to do with your employer, and this is you now. Things have returned to normal, and you're back, and you're doing your work somewhere else, I feel like. But this whole situation is behind you, and you're just getting back to building your life. You're getting back to your hardworking, enduring, and persevering energy. Now, I want to look at our mystery card here. Mystery card could be more Sagittarius energy. I do feel a strong Sagittarius connection in your reading right now. It might be that 10 of Cups we're looking for. Yeah. If you have a prediction for this card, please put it in the comments down below. Let's take a look. The 4 of Cups. We're not counting our chickens before they hatch. But you're realizing that it looks like things are going your way, but the proof of the pudding is in the tasting, right? So you're kind of waiting for the official result. You're waiting for that outcome to be, official, yeah? Also, I feel like you're not doing whatever this decision is now, you're not doing it for the sort of gratification. So when we see then the Prince of Pentacles doing the work, just getting back to the grind, working hard, showing up every day, very committed, right, reliable, hardworking, trustworthy. And then we see the 4 of Cups. It's kind of like you don't want any kind of congratulations. You don't want any kind of notoriety. You don't want any fame over this. You're just trying to do the right thing. You're trying to do what you want to do, and you're a private person. So I think you don't want all the fanfare. You don't want the big crowds cheering you on, the big pat on the back, and the big, party for yourself. No, you just want to get back to doing what you need to do. You're a very humble person. Okay, so you're not looking for the extra. You're not looking to sort of step over everybody or take advantage of anybody. You don't want all of that. You don't want all of the special treatment or anything. You don't want anything above what's fair and just, like we see with the Justice card. You just want the fair thing. You want a fair shot to pursue your happiness and to try to create the future that you want for yourself. You don't want anything more or anything less than what anybody else has, right? If you're gonna get your 10 of Cups, you're gonna do it on merit. You're gonna do it through hard work, not through any special treatment. So we're sort of refusing any special treatments here, right? Very interesting energy with this one, yeah. We're going to do an extended reading. We'll do an Jing reading. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Scorpio Wednesday and Saturday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is free. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're currently watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.